All right, what's up, everybody? It's your favorite CEO here, Sabrina C, and we are at our second braiding camp right here in the Northeast Bronx YMCA.
It's very important for me, especially with three beautiful kids, that I'm able to learn how to braid hair as well. So I'm really happy to sponsor this event with Sabrina, and let's get to some braiding, y'all.
Let's get it.
That when you put us in a room together, there is nothing that we can't do. Those young women in there, they were timid at first, but as they're learning their skills, their confidence goes up. And as their confidence goes up, their skill level goes up. And when their skill level goes up, they can pass it on to somebody else.
Besties and CEOs, welcome back to Becoming the CEO podcast, where we gather to be educated, energized, and empowered. It's your favorite CEO and your favorite host, Sabrina C. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about how you need to stay in motion. But season 5's theme is power, proximity, and positioning. In our last episode, we discussed how uncomfortable spaces create powerful brands. But you can only create a powerful brand if you stay in motion, regardless of circumstances, regardless of support, regardless of your environment. You have to stay in motion. It's dependent on your life as the CEO of your life. Motion creates momentum. You don't have to have everything figured out. You just have to keep moving. Entrepreneurs often believe that progress only happens through major wins. 6-figure launches, viral moments, big partnerships, or awards. But the truth is, most success is built through ordinary days of consistent movement. Every season requires a different pace. Sometimes motion looks like launching a business. Sometimes it looks like not launching the business. Sometimes it looks like closing the business, or resting, or healing, or catching up with your girls, watching your favorite TV show. Every season of motion looks different. Xander, we need to refilm that shot.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really filming nothing. I done did too much already. Get somebody else to do it.
But y'all though. So for episode 3, what's the plan?
Can you film episode 2 first?
Breathe. I need you to call Michael Max.
Hi, Sabrina. I'm literally talking to talent. Can you get an intern or something?
Did you post on the feed and the stories?
Did you post on the feed and the stories?
Well, listen, as you can see, nobody wants to help me. We need interns here at Becoming the CEO podcast, and I'm hoping you want to join us. So email us at becomingtheceopodcast@gmail.com, or just follow us on socials and slide in the DMs. Now, I want to pause here and talk about how did we get to 5 seasons of Becoming the CEO podcast, and we are just now adding video to what we offer here at Becoming the CEO podcast. So I started Becoming the CEO podcast back in 2020 in my 2-bedroom walk-up in the Bronx with just a mic and my MacBook. I started the podcast really to vent about my trial and error as a CEO, starting my independent beauty company, Velvet Luxe Cosmetics. And I didn't know I would have kept going with it. I just, in true Sabrina fashion, I said I was going to do something, so I started. So we started the podcast, and by season 3, I entered motherhood, and that threw me through a whirlwind. Talk about trying to stay in motion. I didn't want to stay in motion. I didn't want to do anything. I also entered motherhood in the most non or untraditional form you can. I entered motherhood as a single mom. So I had double the pressure. I had this new baby. I had a new form of myself. I had to come home to myself, and I didn't know how to come home to myself. I didn't know if I was even going to make it through year 1 of being a mom. I feel like every day I woke up the first year of my son's life, I just asked God to get us through the next 24 hours. But what I did do is, staying in proximity, I asked my friend, who happens to be my son's godmom and our executive producer here at Becoming the CEO podcast, I asked Geralda to take on season 3 for me as the host. And again, we stayed in motion with it. We didn't really know how the season was going to pan out. We were still trying to secure guests. We wanted to add video to it. There were a few Zoom interviews that we did, but we stayed in motion. We stayed in motion together. If I did not have her for season 3, I think there would be no season 5 at this point for Becoming the CEO. And I say all of that to say, even when nobody sees it, you are moving. No one saw back in season 3 when I didn't have it figured out. No one saw that we didn't have cameras. I didn't even know about BronxNet's certification program. I don't even know if it existed. This is like 2021 going into 2022. But I did know then that I did want to add video to the podcast. I knew I wanted a team. I didn't know who the team would be, but I stayed in motion, regardless of what my circumstances looked like, how uncomfortable single motherhood was in the beginning. And I started that journey as well in my career in government. I started that journey as a new mom. In 2021, my career in government wasn't what it is today. I wasn't anyone's chief of staff, I will tell you. I was actually a scheduler. In my career in government, I've done literally every single staffer role in government and politics. I have been an unpaid intern, which I do not recommend. I have been scheduler, I have been constituent services liaison, I have been legislative director, all of the things. So in 2021, after becoming a mom, when I felt like my salary was not where I needed to be to take care of myself and my son, and I started looking for new roles, I did like this whisper prayer, and I said to God, I want to be chief of staff. My environment did not accommodate for me to be chief of staff. I didn't have the confidence, I didn't have the look. I was not happy with what I was seeing in the mirror. And if you're a new mom, you know postpartum will do it to you. But I stayed in motion. How did I stay in motion through postpartum? Saying I wanted to be a chief of staff, saying I wanted to have Becoming the CEO also be a video podcast. I stayed in close proximity to people who I knew would pour into me. I positioned myself for opportunities. I still was updating my resume. I still was sending my resume out. I said no to the things that would distract me and said yes to everything that would deepen my capacity and build my capacity. So I wasn't rigid to my 10 to 6 schedule. If my son needed to be at a food distribution, he was gonna be at a food distribution. If I needed to network with someone or have a Zoom call, if I couldn't do an in-person networking opportunity, I would do a Zoom call instead of in person. And my son was right there on my hip throughout it. So my season of staying in motion without anyone seeing me was 2021 to 2022. So during that season of my life, I didn't have an audience, but progress isn't always loud. Sometimes it's administrative. Sometimes you just need to take an audit of your life, see what's missing, position yourself with the right people, get in proximity to the right people, and it will all fall into place. Look, our team is growing. We are now in the beautiful BronxNet studios, and we need you. If you're interested in social media, field direction, editing podcasts, we need you to come and volunteer with us. Join the team. Why wouldn't you want to be an intern at Becoming the CEO? So send your resume, copies of your work to Becoming the CEO podcast at gmail.com, and our team will reach out to you, and maybe you can be on set with us for the next episode. Let's talk about power. First, let's identify what power isn't. Power is not money. Power is not followers, and power definitely is not titles. What power is discipline. In 2021, when I was experiencing doubt about the podcast, doubt about motherhood, doubt about my career, if I had given up and not stay disciplined or developed the proper systems to help me stay disciplined, I would not be here in 2026 sitting in this beautiful studio with a team of people who believe and have bought into what becoming the CEO is. So power is discipline, power is integrity, and that is a big thing for me. Integrity has helped people speak to the credibility of who I am in every single thing that I've built. Without integrity, you will not be able to get in close proximity to anyone because no one's going to want to network with you, no one's going to want to help position you, and no one's going to want to help to get you to where you need to be. Character. And integrity and character, I feel, feed into each other. But character is a big deal. If I did not have the character that I've had all these years in government, 11 years in government, if I did not have the character that I had, then the team here at BronxNet wouldn't have believed in the show and allowed us to be able to film the show here. Confidence. Now, I struggle with confidence. I'm not always the most secure in myself and what it is I'm doing, but failing forward is something that we all need to become comfortable with. Look, we have a really great team, but we need you. You are the missing piece to becoming the CEO network. We have a full program of things and events scheduled that you can help us plan and execute. If you're a braider, join braiding camp. If you're a makeup artist, join the makeup camp. If you are all things wellness, health, and mental health, join our planning committee for the Strong Moms Collective. We have the Mom to Mogul Masterclass. So if you are a master at any of your trades or your businesses and you want to facilitate, you should facilitate a masterclass. Just email becomingtheceopodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at Becoming the CEO Network and get tapped in with our team because, again, we can't become educated, energized, and empowered unless you are on the team. I'll see you guys. Positioning isn't luck. Positioning is preparation meeting opportunity. Now, I want to encourage all of us to begin doing things even when we don't believe we're qualified to do those things. Sometimes we're called to things before we have all of the materials. So I want all of us to stay in this position of, if your biggest opportunity arrived today, would your business be ready? Would you have a website? Would you have branding? Would you have contracts? Would you have a team, customer service, and or financial systems? Position yourself before you need the opportunity. Preparation is positioning. One of the things I want to challenge us all to do today is I want you to identify one thing that you need for positioning. Is it to register your business? Make the phone call? Is it to attend a networking mixer hosted by Becoming the CEO podcast? Is it to come to Strong Moms Collective or come to any of our programming? Is it to record the video? I know all the time when we consume content, we feel like we need to have the makeup on, we need to have the fit, all the things, and I'm definitely for it. But sometimes it's just about getting your tripod and propping up your phone and recording that call to action. Is it sending the proposal, applying for funding? Closed mouths don't get fed. So if your organization and your business needs funding, as the CEO, you need to be able to advocate for yourself and advocate for your business. Is it hiring an assistant, finishing the website, or scheduling the meeting? This week, don't focus on doing everything, focus on staying in motion. Besties and CEOs, we're gonna have a full slate of programming for you all. First up is our networking mixer, August 20th at Nefer Book Cafe. Come with your business cards, come with the vibes, come ready to secure your newest client, or just come to get some inspiration to actually start the business. On August 29th, for our aspiring entrepreneurs and our seasoned entrepreneurs, we are hosting for the first time our Entrepreneurs Table, which is a small business breakfast guaranteed to connect you with the agencies, a new group of people to network with, and all the resources that you need to start the business, to scale the business, and to sustain the business. In September, all of our moms and our caregivers need to be at the YMCA La Centrale here in the South Bronx for what we are calling the Strong Moms Collective Wellness Fair. Come ready to get into action, to do your step aerobics, your yoga, your sound baths. But we will also have a children's village because we care about the kiddies. We care about our baby CEOs over here. So there will be a space for your young ones, your little ones to relax and become rejuvenated all while you were doing that for the day. So please pull up on us. We're also, wait, hold on, how can I forget? In October, we are hosting grading camp at the same location, YMCA La Central in the South Bronx. So I hope to see you at one of our many programs. And I can't wait for us to gather to be educated, energized, and empowered together. And I want to leave this with you all. Power comes from consistency. Proximity comes from movement, and positioning comes from preparation. The CEOs who win aren't always the smartest or the most connected. They're the ones who refuse to stop moving, and you can take that example from me. Today's episode possibly couldn't have happened. On the way to the studio, there was so much happening behind the scenes with myself, with the team, but I told our EP that I was in go mode and we were going to go. And I want you all to not be so quick to give up whenever things come into your path. Whenever someone says something negative, whenever you might not have all the money, you might not have all the connections, don't be so quick to quit on your dreams or what you want to do. If you don't believe in it and you don't keep pushing forward, no one else is going to buy into it. You first, your business first has to have impact on you before it can have impact on anyone else. Can you get someone, can your business and you get someone to separate from their money if every time something comes up, you quit? No one's gonna believe in you. No one's going to want to spend money with you if you're quitting before you even get started. So this week, the challenge is to stay in motion. Refuse to stop moving. Reject all of the negative thoughts. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Don't compare your business to anyone. There is nothing new under the sun. Everything has been done and tried before. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to perfect it. Besties, this week, our affirmation is, I will not allow fear to stop my movement. I will trust the process, embrace the journey, and continue becoming the CEO I was created to be. Every step I take is positioning me for what's next. I choose consistency over comfort, purpose over perfection, and movement over excuses. My power is growing, my proximity is expanding, and my positioning is aligning with my purpose. I will stay in motion.
When I was younger, I remember my parents would say, what happens in this house stays in this house. Well, I guess I took that figure of speech quite literally, because years later I refused to let anyone see the beast in me. Because what happens with this body of mine is confidential, strictly classified information. And if anyone tries to infiltrate this mind of mine, they must be prepared for the mines that'll detonate, as I'm forced to unload each time this house of a body took another blow, causing instability to become the new foundation that keeps me grounded. See, I've never looked to anyone for saving, because choosing between a rock and a hard place will only cause me to put those who love me in harm's way. So I'd rather keep arm's length, because that's how you create distance. Instead, I've learned to plant seeds of brokenness in soil, allowing my tears to fertilize this crooked rose that grows from the concrete. Because the last time I let someone into my garden, my petals lost their color. My stench grew hard to stomach. My stem bent so low, felt like God was pulling me back to my roots. Y'all get one run that back before I fuck the whole shit up. So is this what y'all choosing right now? Okay. The last time I let someone into my garden, I'm so weak. The last time I let someone into my garden, My petals lost their color. My stench grew hard to stomach. My stem bent so low, felt like God was pulling me back to my roots and said, it's time you let go. Let go of your misconstrued idea of love. Let me mend the memories that echo the first time disappointment first made its appearance, because what I have for you won't ever be the cause of your demise. God then graced my wounds and said, it's time you give love another try. So I picked myself back up and decided to trade my tears for a love that flowed with ease and not clot at the thought of my insecurities. And it was in this moment that I knew I had to be one of his favorites, because he sent me you. And while I don't know who you are just yet, when I close my eyes, we already feel like one. And I can feel the little girl in me release a sigh of relief, because no longer will she have to encounter wannabe prophets profiting off her sacred offerings. No more subjecting myself to counterfeits who rather prey on me than pray for me. This be the end of birthing dead things and thinking my waters be holy enough to resurrect them. Because he sent me you. And while I know it's far too early to ask for favors, do you mind if I just ask you one? Before you step foot into this home that I call body, I ask that you dismantle your guard at the door. Be sure to hang up your pride and wash off the residue that your ego is known to leave behind, allowing you to answer with open arms when my love comes knocking at your door instead of with closed fists. Because I'm well aware that out there will drain you, causing you to finish your wounds with thick skin and load your mouth with another round of bullet-piercing verbiage, all to remind them that you were never the one to be confused with. But as easy as it may be to misconstrue this space with the war that you're forced to face out there, I'll pray that this love reminds you to surrender your flag, discard the mask, and extend your hand reaching for mine whenever the little version of you just wants to dance. As I allow your face to rest in the palm of my hand and whisper thanks to God for shaping you this way. A living prayer, one that ushers me into a garden that reminds me that my petals have finally found their color again. My stench has grown to be something sweeter than milk and honey. And my stem, well, it stands tall, bringing me closer to the heavens, because what felt like God pulling me back to my roots was simply him preparing me for you. And that right there, that's a story worth smiling for. Thank you.
I will not be shaken, I shall not be moved. Though the earth may tremble, rocks they cry out too. Though the mountains crumble, tumble to the sea, a firm foundation is Jesus. I fix my eyes on Calvary.
Stand up. I said I look to the hill from whence cometh my help. Like Jesus, you my savior, couldn't do this by myself. Want you to use me, please don't put me on no shelf. Victorious, you never took a L. You know that I trust you, I mean that truly. All I want is a happy ending like the movies. You know you a solid rock, devil couldn't move me. You gon' take me to the top, don't know why you choose me. He never left me, protect me on many trips. Won't hesitate to get me, I fell from so many slips. The devil, he upset cause you blessed me with many gifts. So much more life to live, it's only 2026. Know you checking every risk that I'm taking. And we locked in, I ain't talking Jamaican. I want this for life, ain't no reason in faking. I know to my goals I'ma make it, cause
I will not be shaken, I shall not be moved. Though the earth may tremble, rocks they cry out too. Though the mountains crumble, tumble to the sea, a firm foundation is Jesus. I fix my eyes on Calvary.
I know I can't let them shake me. I cannot be moved. I know the devil hate me. I know you know it's true. Remove myself and I gave it all to you. Like I thought you the controller, show me what to do. And before my life is over, I wanna see your will. I'm crying on your shoulders, you know how I feel. You know heavy emotion like Moses. I'm hoping that you could make a way for me, split the ocean. Hear me when I'm praying, blessed Lion of Judah. Take me to my destination, I ain't talking about Uber. And I know you come through for all of your sons and your daughters. I'ma show appreciation, that's the way I was brought up. In my life, I done proved his existence. I wanna grow closer to God, wanna shorten the distance. I give him a problem and he says, I know how to fix it. All you need to do is just listen.
I will not be shaken, I shall not be moved. Though the earth may tremble, rocks they cry out too. Though the mountains crumble, tumble to the sea. A firm foundation is Jesus. I fix my eyes on Calvary.
Sea sky.
What's up, everybody? It's your favorite CEO here, Sabrina C, and we are live at our first ever makeup camp. You all are familiar with braiding camp, so we had to transition into makeup. And why is makeup important? Because it's lucrative. It's something that is easy to build on, and we, of course, always want to educate, energize, and empower. And we're starting right here in the Bronx at Community Board 12 with makeup.
So this is like them finding themselves. It's part of them finding their identity. How can I express myself and enhance myself? Like, I want to be me, but I want to be a better version of me. I want to feel good when I walk outside. Like, I see all these influencers, right? And you see them getting dressed and their self-esteem, right? It boosts when they do makeup. So I feel like it's a part of like the girls finding themselves.
So what's one takeaway from today or one thing that you learned from today's event?
So one takeaway from today I would say I learned is to always use sunscreen before you apply your makeup, and especially to use primer, especially one that fits your skin type. You see the foundation, y'all? It's real smooth. Y'all need to use this. That's what I learned.
This was a great event. I brought my niece here today and she absolutely enjoyed it. This event overall, having the connection by bringing my niece here allowed us to bond even further because she's looking for the step-by-step guidance that we learned together. I learned as well on how to do my makeup correctly. So I love this event. I love what Sabrina is doing for the community because it's bringing families together. It's allowing us to bond as a union, and it's giving the youth a great opportunity to learn about themselves, learn about entrepreneurship, and just being a better human being overall.
A part of staying in motion is subscribing to Becoming the CEO Podcast's YouTube and subscribing to us on Apple and Spotify. I also want you to share today's episode with another entrepreneur and CEO. Leave a review. Talk to us. We want to know how we're doing. We also want to know if you are engaging with all of the content that we have on our socials, and follow Becoming the CEO Network on social media. Our home is Instagram.